Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend.
Always a pleasure, sir.
You got a snazzy haircut.
One after 3 months. Yeah.
3 months.
3 months at least. Yeah. Busy man. I'm a busy man.
You going for the Justin Turner look?
Yeah, right. Never. Always, maybe. I don't know. I could use some of Justin Turner's money. That'd be nice.
All right, what do we got on tap this week, Alex?
Yeah, we're gonna get a little crazy. We're gonna get into the MODOK cartoons.
They called me Big Head.
One day, that big, beautiful, womb-wrecking head of yours is going to change the world.
Time to change the world by bringing it to its knees. Attack!
So we're gonna talk a little MODOK, Wonderman, Pound Cakes, which is we're really scraping the bottom of the character barrel. Angar the Screamer as well. Like what? And let's talk a little Hourman.
Right. Got a lot of interesting, a little bit offbeat stuff. As we've noticed, and as we've noted to you all, the price on everything just seemed to be going crazy, Alex.
Crazy bananas.
I can't tell you how many times I go through the dollar boxes, like in my house or like in my whatever. And I'm like, this book is like $1. And then it's like, it's $300.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
Speculator, craziness. I don't know. It's bananas right now. It's more now than it was when the 90s craze was happening. I mean, it's not, people aren't going crazy for like collector's item issues. They're going crazy for everything.
Well, what's happening also is something that we saw in the sports card market, which is like the Tim Drake first appearance. As a raw book, they're like $5.
Yeah.
When Avengers West Coast 45 is like a $15 book raw.
Yeah.
A 9.2 is like $120, $150. But if you want a 9.8, it's going to cost you $1,600 to $2,500.
Crazy.
So you're starting to see these spreads. And same thing with the 426. It's like, it's a $5 to $10 raw book. In 9.6 and 9.4, it's like $50, $60. In 9.6, it's like $100, $125. And in 9.8, it's $425. And it's like, they printed 1 million copies of that book.
Yeah. It's that stimmy money, man. Some people just,
I know.
Some people didn't need it for their bills and they're pumping that back into the economy.
They're buying Batman 426. That's what they're buying. 436.
I won't tell you what I bought. Trying to continue with my McDonald's box collection.
So we're there about it in Alex's pick of the week. Okay. All right. What are we going to start with, Alex?
Let's talk Hourman. That's an interesting one.
Okay. So the character's been around for forever, Alex.
Yeah.
And this is what's interesting about the films. So sometimes they don't go back into not too distant past, and sometimes they go all the way back. And I don't even know how they're decided, because you got a library of thousands and thousands and thousands of characters. So there's been some different iterations over the years of the Hourman character. What is the difference between the version from 1963 and then the version in the 1980s and then the version in the 1990s?
Yeah, so we'll go backwards, because the Hourman, one of the last Hourmans to come about was the Android Hourman. And it's funny because, that was like classic late 90s things to do, is like make the superhero a robot or make him a new alien or something. But really it's Rex and Rick Taylor, and those are the main Hourmans. Rex Taylor is the Golden Age character. Rick Taylor's the son. They would take a pill called Miraculo, and for an hour out of the day, they could do, they could be nigh invulnerable. They could lift cars. They're strong. They could fight. They could jump. They could kind of do like superhuman stuff, but only for an hour. Hourman's a great Golden Age character, and they've used him tons in the comic books. They brought him into Stargirl. They brought that character in, and it's just a fun character because it's just a normal human guy who created a drug that could help him, and they deal with a lot of stuff in the books, like the dad and the son both get like addicted to it because it is a drug, and then it can, and then there was the Sandman that was like could look into the future for a bit. So there's some stuff there. It's a very fun DC property, and with you, what you're seeing is with the Black Adam movie, they're bringing a lot of the JSA characters in. So, and again, Stargirl, he's great at Stargirl, and I think it's played by Lou Ferrigno Jr., which I'm only assuming is Lou Ferrigno's son, the Incredible Hulk. I would be surprised if it wasn't. So it's a fun character.
Right. So obviously the character is hot now because you're starting to see the character on screen.
Yep.
Like every other.
Like everything else. Yes.
Okay. So Justice League of America number 21, August of 1963. Very, very rare book. So, we're not going to really talk too much about 9/8 and everything. A 9.0 just sold for $1,300, and 8.0 is about $900. Not crazy expensive for those kind of grades for a book from 63. To me, that's one of the most iconic Justice League covers. This is where they're phenomenal. Sitting around.
Yep.
I mean, we when we did the con box version of Justice League, that's the cover that we homaged. Was his Justice League. I think that's been homaged quite a bit over the years. It's that little bubble dream thing. That's a really iconic cover.
Totally.
That Murphy Anderson cover.
Beautiful.
Beautiful cover.
And 9.0 for to be $900. That's a good price, especially for that cover and that old of a book.
Yeah. The 9.0 is $1,300 and the 8.0 is $900. But yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's still 8.0.
The same ball, right. There's only we're not going to talk about gold labels because there's no gold labels available. There's 2 blue label 9/8s. There's 0 blue label 9/6s, 13 blue label 9.4s, and 16 blue label 9.2s. And there's still only 22 blue label 9.0s. So, $1,300 for a book that's got a pop of 22 with only a few higher is very, very affordable. Totally. That issue reintros the JSA and the JLA title. Like you said, it's the first Silver Age appearance of Hourman.
Yep.
You got Dr. Fate, Icicle and Wizard, Gardner Fox story, and obviously that classic Murphy Anderson cover.
Yeah.
I love that cover.
Probably top 20 covers of all time. Definitely.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's just one of those just holds up, holds up over time. Okay. Then the next book is Showcase number 56, May, June of 1965. Again, very low pop. 9.0 just sold for a little under $300. Seems very affordable compared to all the new books.
It's a great cover too. Yeah, the old team up book. Showcases were a big team up book.
There's 0 9.8s. There's 8 blue 9/6s. There's 9 blue 9/4s. There's 4 blue 9/2s, and there's 21 blue 9/0s. And again, $280. Yeah. So that book again has Dr. Fate and Hourman, and Dr. Fate again is going to be in the Black Adam film.
Yep, James Bond.
First Silver Age appearance of Psycho Pirate, Alex. Who's
that?
Yeah,
big Animal Man and Crisis on Infinite Earths villain, Psycho Pirate.
Does anybody talk about? Does anyone care about Psycho Pirate anymore? No.
I think you have to be. I don't want to say it's a niche villain, but it is kind of a niche villain. Yeah.
Would you be excited? Though. Would you be excited for a Psycho Pirate?
Yes. Yeah.
You would be.
Yep. The mask that changes face. That's great. It's good stuff.
That's it. All right. Listen to Alex. He knows what he's talking about.
Sometimes.
Okay. Then you get into the Infinity Inks, Todd McFarlane Infinity Inks.
Yeah, good stuff. Good books.
Number 20 from November of 1985. Very early McFarlane stuff. 4 blue label 9/8, 0 gold label 9/8. That's the $35 raw book. Todd McFarlane's art is in there, but it's a Michael Blair cover. Infinity Ink number 21 is December, a month later. 6 blue label 9/8, 1 gold label 9/8, sold for about $150. They're about $10 raw. That's intro of the new Hourman and Dr. Midnight. And then it's got the Todd McFarlane cover on it. Very early McFarlane.
Yeah, that's then first Rick Taylor. That's the son when he becomes Hourman.
Okay, so that's a good. I mean, $10 raw or $150 for blue label. It's worth taking 100%. A shot.
Yeah.
And then Infinity Ink number 22, January of 86, 1 month later. There are 3 blue label 9/8s. There's 1 gold label 9/8. $10 raw. Again, another Todd McFarlane cover. All part of that Hourman series. And then you have the 1990s Hourman. Yes. 1999 Hourman number 1. There's no pop on it. It's only a $2 to $5 raw book. So it's the book is by Scott McDaniel. And so I guess the question is that is there any difference with this 1999 Hourman, or what's the story?
This is the robot. This is the robot Hourman.
Okay.
Yep. And
so we don't think that that's going to be the one that's going to appear anywhere.
No, but with the way DC TV shows are working, the way everything. I mean, look at Marvel. I mean, we're about to talk about pound cakes and Angar the Screamer. Like anything is possible. Just like Kevin Garnett said.
Could you imagine Angar the Screamer? We'd be discussing that.
No, nope.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Yep. Okay, what do we got next, Alex?
Yeah, let's talk MODOK.
So MODOK has a new series out right now, by the way.
Yep.
They did a really good job with the artwork on the new series, by the way. Those covers look really fun and funny.
Yep. It's more of a kid's book, but it's great. It's fun.
Never thought that we'd be talking about MODOK, but he's kind of funny looking.
Yeah. Classic Marvel villain. Right.
So it's going to be on Hulu.
Yep.
The show. And so there's again, it's a very, very old character.
Yeah.
I know they're doing the new series on, and the new series probably got the new version of the origin, but people still want the original.
Yeah.
Okay. Tales of Suspense number 94, October of 67. Very, very low pop book. An 8.5 sold for $1,200, a 7.0 sold for $400. Still very reasonable, Alex, when we start talking about these pops.
Yeah.
There's 6 blue label 9.8s, 1 gold label 9.8, 13 blue label 9.6, 1 gold label 9.6, 32 blue label 9.4, 7 gold label 9.4, and then 44 blue label 9.2, 3 gold label 9.2. So that's really where you start to get the pops up.
Yeah.
That's the first appearance of MODOK, George Tarleton. It's a Stan Lee story. It's a great Jack Kirby, again, the classic Jack Kirby cover. So talk a little bit about MODOK and what his powers are and what he does and why are they making a Hulu series on him?
MODOK is a giant floating human head. I think people were excited when was it Iron Man 2 that AIM, or Iron Man 3 AIM was brought up, Justin Hammer's AIM, which is the thing in the comic books, and MODOK is a agent of AIM. They created this character. They turned, they genetically modified a human to have an extra large brain, but his head got so big that he had to put it into a floating chair. He has a laser beam that comes out of his face. He's super smart. I think the reason why a lot of times MODOK is used as a comedic element, and this is why this cartoon is voiced by Patton Oswalt, is going to be a funny cartoon. It's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Like how can you take this guy seriously? It's a floating head in a chair.
I feel like if you were a supervillain, you would be MODOK.
I'd love it. Take it, give it to me. The Silver Surfer I think it was Silver Surfer. There's an action figure of MODOK, and his eye beam or whatever is like a missile, and you squeeze him and it comes out of his head.
Sounds like a pimple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. The only other important MODOK issue, Incredible Hulk number 167, September of 1973. Wow. 3 months before I was born. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a connection there, Al. 26 blue label 9.8s, 0 gold labels. There's no gold labels on these books. 37 blue label 9.6s, 22 blue label 9.4s. 9.4 sold for about $160. This is a great Herb Trimpe cover. It's a classic cover.
Yeah.
So if you're going to buy another MODOK book, I would buy the Incredible Hulk 167. I think that's really the book you're looking for.
Yeah.
With the big cover.
Especially that cover. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So now we've come to that time of the week. Alex's pick of the week, although I think I know what you're going to talk about.
What do you think I'm talking about?
McDonald's Happy Meals.
No, I've already talked about that. I've already covered that ad nauseum, as the kids say. I am a large child, obviously, with everything in the background. And one thing that we used to do.
Wait, did you say you're a large child?
I'm a large child. Yeah, I'm not a small child. I'm a grown-up child.
Oh, I was like, you threw me off there for a second. Go ahead, Alex.
One of the things that, I like to do is go to like theme parks. I like going to Disneyland and Disney World and enjoying that stuff. And one of the things that I like to get there are the park exclusive toys. And it's been closed for a year. I mean, World's been open for a little bit longer. Land's been closed. But like, there's a lot of, when you're a company like Disney World and you're doing toys for the year, you keep things fresh. So you this is the year we're going to do this. The next year we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Black Widow's going to be out, so we're going to put those movie toys out. I'm interested to see what the parks have as their exclusives. Like, every year they do a Halloween themed or Christmas themed droid, little Star Wars droid. And we haven't seen those. So is it going to be the same one next year? Or are they going to dump them all? Is the 2020 Christmas droid going to be around, or are they just going to take them off, recycle them, and then just do 2021? So park exclusives are like a really cool thing to get and to save as like a memento. But I'm interested to see where all the 2020 stuff is. I mean, I don't think they're going to hold it over, especially if it says 2020 on it.
Maybe they'll pulp it, and then the few that get out are worth like $1 million.
Oh, I mean, why Legos are hard to find after the fact, because Legos don't go on discount, super discount. You can't, I mean, you can go to some Lego stores, there's stuff on sale. There's always sales on Lego, but you return all the Legos, they open the boxes, they recycle the boxes, they recycle the bags, and they dump all the Legos and they recycle the Legos. So Legos are very hard to find after the fact, because it's not like they put 200,000 in the wild, and once they're gone, they're gone. If only 100,000 sell, they request them back and then recycle them for new sets. So it's kind of the same thing.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What do we got next, Alex?
Keep on that MODOK train and talk a little Wonderman.
Wonderman, of course, played by the great and very popular Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
Nathan was always one of the most popular guests at the shows. Between the Firefly stuff and the Castle stuff, and now he's got Suicide Squad, and now he's in. This guy's all over the place, right?
Yeah. Well, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I think he got cut. I think his scene got cut. He was somebody in it.
So it's interesting that there's a Wonder Woman, which is DC, and then there's a Wonder Man, that's Marvel. Had the character been newly created, there's no way they would have been able to get away with that. And also the one named Wonder Man is so generic, it's hard to believe. But I guess, because the character's so old. Again, 1964 character. Yeah. What's so special about this Wonder Man character, and how did they land Nathan to voice this character?
I think fan casting for Nathan has been a year's thing. I mean, I would say his portrayal in Castle actually fits Wonder Man very well. Wonder Man, who was, in the 80s, was a movie star, very like proud of himself. I mean, he was a rich person who got turned into a villain and then got turned into a superhero, which, how many people in the 60s, Hawkeye and Swordsman, were villains and then became superheroes. But then he was just a fan favorite. I mean, he's been in the Avengers pretty much in almost every aspect since the original series. Almost some form of Wonder Man's been in there. He's got ionic powers, and even in like the late 90s Kurt Busiek's Avengers run, he was like, he could turn into like an ionic person. And mostly he's known, one of the things he's known is his personality is Vision's personality. So Wanda's married to both of them, or has been with both of them. So it's interesting character. Definitely I don't know why he hasn't been a live action Marvel, because he's just been so ingrained in the universe for so long. Especially
as you were describing the character, I was thinking about myself a little bit, by the way.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of feels like that's what I could play if I were going to be in the MCU.
I could see it. You might want to bulk up just a little more.
Thanks. All right. So first appearance and origin, Avengers number 9, October of 1964. Again, people have been collecting these Avengers books forever, so they're not cheap. There's one Blue Label 9.8. There's no gold labels, 6 Blue Label 9.6s, 1 gold label, 13 Blue Label 9.4, no gold label, 23 Blue Label 9.2 with 2 gold label, and 34 Blue Label 9.0 with 1 gold label. These books are impossible to find. A 9.0 is about $4,000. Again, it's early Avengers. These books were always expensive, regardless of whether or not Wonder Man was in it, because people did collect full runs. This is one of those full run collector books that 25 years ago, when I was going to comic book shows, people were collecting full runs of the Avengers. They were collecting full runs of the X-Men. They were collecting full runs of Spider-Man. The titles where they do the full runs. Avengers was always a full run collector. So those are in personal collections. A 9.0 recently sold for $4,000. You could buy a lower grade copy, 4.0, in the $300 to $400 range. That again has the first appearance of Wonder Man. Again, another Jack Kirby cover. A lot of the Avengers early covers were Jack Kirby's. So again, another classic cover. The next Wonder Man that we should really take a look at, which is really a bargain right now, Alex, is Marvel Premiere number 55. That not a high pop book. Yeah. Avengers 9, they printed a lot of copies of. They're just not available in high grade. Marvel Premiere number 55, they did not print a lot of copies of. Nope. That is August of 1980. It's the first solo Wonder Man story. It's an unbelievable cover. Ron Wilson, not a name we hear very often, but is a fantastic cover of Wonder Man. 12 blue label 9/8, one gold label 9/8. One recently sold for $200, which sounds very, very cheap for that book.
Yes.
It's a Wonder Man appearance. Dave McElhaney actually wrote the story with Bob Layton. Dave McElhaney, we know from our Spider-Man McFarlane run.
Yep.
Did not realize that he had worked on this series, so it's pretty cool also. Then the next book is back in the 1980s and in the 1990s. He had his own series.
Yep.
Anything different or unique about the 80s or 90s Wonder Man?
I like the 90s Wonder Man because he was like a movie star. Like that was like he was like the Indiana Jones, like type adventurer, and he was a movie star.
Got it.
That's why I
got
that series.
Okay, so you have Wonder Man number 1 from March of 86, 20 blue label 9/8, 1 gold label 9.8. That's about a $10 to $20 book raw. Ant-Man was in that series. Again, another David McElhaney story. Yep. Bill Sienkiewicz cover. That's a great Wonder Man cover. There's a lot of Bill Sienkiewicz collectors out there. Bill has always been a fan favorite. Yep. I remember even seeing him in San Diego '89. Has been a fan favorite. Was good then. Was good every year since. And that unique style that really no one has ever been able to sort of match.
Yep.
Nothing else looks like a Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Yeah, you know it when you see it. 100%. There's no denying.
But no one's even like been able to copy the style.
Yeah. You could say maybe a little Ben Templesmith. You could see a little bit there, kind of like the little scratchy. The artist on Department of Truth has a little bit of that kind of same style.
You know what else I feel like that about is David Mack.
Yeah, David Mack. That's
no one's been able to replicate.
Yeah.
Like even a version of David Mack.
Yeah.
Like it's David Mack's cover. It's like, it's a David Mack cover, and nothing else really looks like it.
Yeah. You're not arguing with anybody there.
Yeah, I love David Mack. Okay. Wonder Man number 1 also came out in September of 1991. 88 blue label 9.8s, 2 gold label 9.8s. That's about a $75 book. That's a Terry Austin cover. So we'll see. We'll see when the series comes out, which of the books people go for. But these books are cheap enough that you would just buy them.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Okay. What do we got next, Alex?
Pound cakes.
Whoopi Goldberg came to our show in Philadelphia back in 2015. And what I told people at the time was, if you went to go see Whoopi live, like bought a ticket to her concert, it would have cost you more than just buying a ticket to our show and going to see her 45-minute panel.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I was like, dude, if you want to go to Whoopi Goldberg show, just come to our event. It was great. It was a great panel. Obviously from Star Trek, she signed a lot of Star Trek autographs that day. I think I don't know if she's ever done another appearance since then. Maybe. Oh, I think she did. She did a Creation Star Trek show one year.
I'm sure she'll be doing that now that Reed Pop's doing Star Trek shows. I'm sure they're going to reel in all those favors.
Right. Yeah. Whoopi would be a good one. Very popular. Yeah.
I want that pick.
So, yeah. So the one appearance of Pound Cakes that's everyone's looking for was August of 1979. Again, another very, very old character. There's 31 blue label 9/8. There's 1 gold label 9.8. One recently sold for about $1,400. Not a cheap book. It's a $35 to $50 raw book, Alex.
Yeah.
That book has the first appearance of the Grapplers. You've got and it's a George Perez cover.
Yeah.
So it's a great cover. So talk a little bit about the character Pound Cakes.
Yeah, I mean,
what do we know about her?
It's not a lot. It's not like we're talking White Rabbit here. It was an ex-wrestler with superpowers, and that's pretty much it. It's a very, very, like I said, bottom of the barrel scrape characters. Like it's not like this person.
Why would they choose this character?
I don't know.
Because this one you don't know.
I have no idea. I mean, it's not a fan favorite. To be honest,
it's got to serve a purpose though on the show. Though it has to serve a purpose on the show.
I mean, a wrestler, the next wrestler, superhero or supervillain in this case. I mean, that's a fun That's fun.
But you're also getting Whoopi Goldberg to voice it.
Exactly.
So you're not getting some schmo. Yeah. You're not getting a schmo off the street.
I definitely felt like in the MODOK cartoon offices, they had a hat full of names and they shook it and they were like, all right, Whoopi Goldberg's playing pound cakes. Cool.
All right, we'll see. I don't know. All right, what's next, Alex?
Another weird and second time character being used is Angar the Screamer.
Bill Hader.
Another
funny guy. You know, I think there's a connection here with all these funny people, right? You said 100%. It's kind of a funny parody type of a series, and they got all these funny people to play these characters, right? Whoopi is funny, Bill Hader is funny, Nathan can play funny, you know, so we got
all comedians,
all comedians, okay. So Angar the Screamer, character I'd never thought we'd be discussing, again appeared in Daredevil 100 and 101, and again Daredevil's one of those run collectors. Daredevil 100 and 101 have been on people's want lists for 25 years, right? Those are books that anyone who's just a Marvel series collector or run collector will have wanted those books. So those books are not like in dollar bins, like some of the books that we do talk about. So Daredevil number 100, June of 1973. There are 11 Blue Label 9.8s, 0 Gold Label 9.8s. There are 30 Blue Label 9.6s, 2 Gold Label 9.6s. 47 Blue Label 9.4s, 0 Gold Label 9.4s. It's an old book. I mean, it's 47 years old. It's about $180 in 9.4. It's hard to get higher. So it's the first appearance of Angar the Screamer. Rich Buckler, his name has come up a lot. That's the first appearance of Angar the Screamer. I think it's sort of in a cameo type appearance. It's not like a full appearance. And then Daredevil 101, 1 month later, July of 73, 4 Blue Label 9.8s, 0 Gold Labels, 19 Blue Label 9.6s, 0 Gold Labels, 23 Blue Label 9.4s, 0 Gold Labels. That book is about $125 in 9.4. Angar and Black Widow appearance. Again, it's a Frank Giacoia cover and art. So those are really the books that you want. I think before the Hulu series comes out, these are very, very reasonable books to try to pick up. All right, Alex, I think that does it for today. We're going to try to continue the Hulu stuff next week. We got some other exciting stuff next week. We're going to talk about Super Adaptoid. I think we're going to talk about Adam Warlock a little bit. Characters that everybody wants list. We're trying to mix it up here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section. And we will see you everybody next week. Same bat time.
Same bat channel. See you later, guys.